Hi everyone, welcome back to Mechatronics Lab. Today we will see overview on PLC programming and simulation as a part of Mechatronics Lab Part B experiment that is on PLC. In this class we will see what is PLC programming. In that we will see what is ladder diagram, how to construct the ladder diagram. Then we will see how to simulate this ladder diagram using PLC software and how to interface with a PLC trainer kit. For that, we will have to see what is the PLC programming software we are using and PLC trainer kit. First, we will see PLC programming. Before going to programming, we will see what is programming language. The programming language which allows the user to communicate with the PLC via programming device. All they have communicate with system by means of instruction, a basic control plan, that is also called program, or program can be defined as it is a set of instructions to control the plan. And there are several types of programming languages available based on the PLC manufacturers. Here we have listed 4 such types. One is ladder diagram, second one is statement list programming, third one is function block diagram, fourth one is Boolean logic. We will see first ladder diagram or ladder logic. What is ladder diagram? A ladder diagram is the symbolic representation of the control logic which is used for ladder logic programming of a PLC. It is a diagram of the symbolic representation of the control logic. The structure of a ladder diagram actually looks like a ladder, hence the name ladder diagram comes. You see this sketch here, it is a conventional ladder. The ladder diagram also it is similar to this one only. It contains 2 vertical lines that is called rails, and these 2 vertical lines are connected by horizontal lines that is called rungs. And it is a graphical language for describing output of an electrical switching system as a function of its inputs. Means in electrical switching system there will be an output. The output is a function of its inputs. Here we are describing all those things in a graphical language using suitable symbols. And it is the most commonly used PLC programming method compared to others. And it is drawn in a similar way to relay logic circuit. However, the ladder logic diagrams express logic operations using symbolic notation rather than circuit components. Here we are not using circuit components like switch and output components like bulb or something. Here we are using a symbolic notation to represent all inputs and outputs. That's why it is called as relay ladder logic. And here we are identifying each of the elements in an electromechanical circuit and represents them graphically. To construct ladder diagram, first we have to identify each of the elements in an electromechanical circuit and represent them graphically using suitable notations. And it involves writing a program similar manner to drawing a switching circuit. It is same as electrical circuit diagram writing. And a ladder diagram consists a set of instructions used to control a machine or a process. And in ladder diagram you have 2 vertical lines that are called rails, and these 2 vertical lines are joined by using horizontal lines that is called rungs. The ladder diagrams have horizontal lines of control logic called rungs and vertical lines at the start and end of each rung is called rails. This is the ladder logic. Here these 2 vertical lines are the power rails. These 2 power rails are connected using horizontal line that is rung. In that rung we are placing a input and output components to complete the logical expression. And this is how the power will flow from one rail to another rail to the rung. Here left one is the hot rail and right one is the neutral rail. The power will flow from left to right as like a electrical circuit, and power flow from left to right, and first it will go to rung and then it will go to rung 2, then rung 3 and etc. And finally the ladder program end with a end instruction. To construct ladder diagram, we need some basic parts. These are the basic parts we require to construct a ladder diagram. The basic parts are rails, rungs, contacts or we are called inputs, and coil, logic expressions, address notation or tag names, and comments. And here first we will come to rail. Already these two rails which are used at start and end of the rungs, and the rungs are connected in between the rail from left to right. On the rungs we are placed the contacts. That contacts are used to represent inputs. There are two types of contacts we will see later, and this is a output. This can be represented by using a coil, and we are used logical expression to solve the problem. And these inputs and outputs, that is contacts and coil, will be addressed by using address notations and tag names. And finally last part is comments. These comments are put on each rung to understand. These are the three basic symbols which are used to construct a ladder logic. We'll see one by one what are those symbols. See, this is the first one is normally open contact or XIC, that is examine if closed contact. This one is also contact. This one is a normally closed contact or examine if open contact. This one is coil, that is output symbol. And the inputs are represented by using normally open or normally closed contacts. The action of input is equivalent to opening or closing a switch. And the output coils are represented by using just one symbol, that is this one. First we will see what is normally open contact or examine if closed. If the condition is true, then the contact is closed. And here we will see if the condition is false, the contact remains open, that is represented by black lines only. If the condition is true, the contact will be closed, that is represented by green lines. That is same here. When the event is true, the logic flow can move fast to the next logic expression. If the condition is true, then only it will allow to move to next expression. Otherwise, it will stop here only. It is the same as current flow in a electric circuit. When a switch on, then only current will flow to the next point. Otherwise, it will stop there only. This is the timing diagram. That is, if input is true, the contact is closed. If the input is open or false, the input is open only. See here, this animation is represents the XIC, means normally open switch working. When the normally switch open switch contact is open condition only, the output will not energy, because the flow is end here itself. If the normally open contact is closed condition, means if it is on, when the button is on, the open contact will be closed. That time the flow will be continued to the output one, then output will be turned on. You observe here, this is the condition where the normally open contact is open only, means the switch is turned off condition. Here the switch is turned on condition. Next we will see normally closed contact. Here if the condition is true, then the contact is open. Normally if the condition is true, the contact should be closed, but here it is opposite to that one. That's why the normally closed contact represents the NOT operation. NOT means what input we are giving, that will the output is opposite to that one. Here this table represents this normally closed contact operation. If the condition is false, it is true, means normally closed duct is true, that will represented by green. If the condition is true but the normally closed contact is open, means false, that is the black line represents and false, the green line means it will continuity. See here, the result of the normally closed contact is basically the opposite state of an event that occurs. If the PLC input is false, then the result is true. If the PLC input is true, the result will be false or vice versa. See here. Here, if the input is true, then the contact will be open. If the input is false, the contact will be closed, just opposite to the input given. Next we will see coil component or output component. Here, if the input condition is true, then output is turned on, otherwise it will be turned off. See here, the input is true, the coil will be energized. If the input is false, the coil will be not de-energized, that is in off condition. Next, see how to address this input and output in PLC. To address the input, this is a format. Here, the first letter of the addressing format represent whether it is an input or output. If you want to represent input, you have to give I. If you want to address the output, you have to give O. And then you have to give separator, that is colon. Then after colon, you have to put 0.0. This is 1. The 0 is slot number, the 0 also word number. Then you have to put slash, then you have to give bit number. Here only bit number will be changes in a PLC, whether it is a 0, 1, 2, 3. It depends on how many inputs and outputs are there. Here, for example, if our PLC is a 6 inputs and 4 outputs, if you want to give first input means I colon 0.0 slash 0. If you want to give second input address means I colon 0.0 slash 1. Here then bit start from 0 to n. If 6 inputs is there means 0 to 5. In the output also in the same way, here 4 outputs are there means the bit number varies from 0 to 3. We can give any one. This left side of the slash are constant. This 0.0 is same. This is the format to address the input and output. Next we will see one illustration for logic diagram. I explained what is XIC and XIO, means normally open contact and normally closed contact. Here is the electromechanical circuit which is connected to alarm arm. This alarm arm will be on when the both button is closed only. The equivalent ladder logic for this program is this one. Here the PB1, this normally open switch, is represented by using the XIC, that is normally open contact, with the address of I with 0 bit, and the second input also represented by using normally open, and the output is represented by coil with the address 1. We will see how it will be work. Here there are 4 combinations of output will be obtained for a different combination of input. If the push button is not pushed, means if it is open condition only, the state is 0. If it is open, the state is 0. This is if it is open, the state is 0. Means here in the first condition, when the push button is not pushed, the state is 0, and push button is 2 also not pushed, the state is 1, because this is a normally closed contact. That time the power will be cut off to the alarm. There is no continuity to the alarm. The alarm will be silent only. Next possible is the push button 1 is still it is in not pushed condition, but push button 2 is pushed. When the push button 2, that is normally closed contact, this will be open, that is 0. Means this time also there is no flow continuity, the alarm remains silent. When you push the push button 1, the normally open contact will be closed. The condition becomes true, that is 1. The push button 2 is not pushed, that condition is 1. Then the flow will be continuous to the alarm, then alarm will sounds. It will get a signal and it will get sounds. And then fourth condition is when the push button 1 is pushed, the open contact will be closed, then state changes to 1, and when the push button 2 is pushed, it will state changes to from 1 to 0. Then the alarm will be silent, because in push button 2 the power will be cut off. This is the equivalent for electromechanical circuit and ladder logic program. Next we will see what is latching. There are some situations occurs to the output will be remains energized even though the input is switched off. In that situations we are using a latching. The latching is nothing but we are connecting a output parallel to the input with an address of output. See here, the input A and input B are the two inputs and output. When the input B is normally closed, initially it is closed only, the input A is normally open. When I switch on input A, it will be closed and power will flow to the output will be energized. After that, we are connecting parallel, the same output is connecting parallel to the input. Even though if input button is turned off, the output will be remains energized, because the flow is continue from output to output to here to branch until unless the input B is turned off. See, this is the latching. See here start PB, start push button, stop push button, and micro motor contactor is there. Here if we close the start push button, the flow will be continued and motor will be turned on. After starting push button, it will be closed, push button will be open, the motor contactor remains switching on. This is the condition sometimes we require. The output remains energized even after closing the input A inputs. That time we are using a latching, and it is a self-maintaining circuit in that after being energized it maintains that state until another input is received. It remembers its last state. The output remembers its last state unless until the another input is received. Means here another input is input B. Initially this output received input A. That time it will energize. It will remember its condition until unless the input B is open. This is latching. Next we will see what is timers. The timers are output instructions that are internal to the PLC, and these timer circuit is specified by stating the interval to be timed and the conditions or events that are to start or stop the timer. And the timer circuits are used to state the interval when to start or stop the events after a specified time. And these timers provide timed control of the devices that they activate or deactivate. And this is the timing circuit. In between the input and output we are placing a timer. Here without timer, when you press the input, the output will be energized suddenly. But if you place a timer, after pressing a button, after some delay of time, the output will be energized. This is called timer. And there are different types of timers are there. That is timer on delay, timer off delay, and retentive timer on delay. We will discuss these types in subsequent experiments in detail. We will see first timer on delay here very briefly. Here the input we are giving here, the output is Q. In timer on delay, the output will switching on after a delay of time we are setting in a timer. This is timer on delay. Here it will delay the switching on of an output. Here this is a timer off. Here it will delay the switching off an output. Actually the output is switched off here itself, but it will delay this time. This is the different types of timers. We will discuss in briefly in subsequent experiments. Next, we will see some rules to construction of ladder diagrams, proper construction of ladder diagram. First is a contact must always be inserted at the beginning of a rung. The contact should be at the beginning of a rung. And a coil must be inserted at the end of a rung. The coil, which represents the output, that should be at the end of a rung. And all contact must be run horizontally. That the contact should not run in vertically. And the number of contacts per matrix is limited 11 across by 7 down. And only one output may be connected to a group of contacts. And the contact must be nested. And flow must be from left to right. Already I told you the power will be flow from left to right and rung to rung. The contact progression should be straight across. It will go from left to right, then top to bottom. Next we will see about the programming software. To write the ladder diagram, we have a different softwares, but here we are using a RSLogix 500 software, which is a programming packages of Rockwell softwares. This is the window that of the RSLogix 500 software. Next, we will see the PLC trainer kit. There are many PLC trainer kits are available in the market. We are using a PLC trainer kit made by a Allen Bradley with Micrologix 1000 processor. We are having a 6 inputs and 4 outputs of 24 volt DC. See, this schematic shows the PLC. This is a schematic of the PLC, picture of the PLC what we are using, that is Allen Bradley Micrologix 1000 processor. This is the Micrologix processor 1000, and this is the connector which is used to connect the PC to RS-232 cable. These are the push buttons or toggle buttons provided to operate the input, and these are the outputs, and these outputs are connected to indicator. And this is the processor which I have shown inside. This is the processor, that is here. See, in this side we are connected a inputs, here we are connected a output. This is a connector which can connect the PC. Next, we will see what is the procedure for writing and simulation of a program in Allen Bradley PLC. First, we have to open RSLogix 500 software to write a program. In that, we have to create a new project. Then, you have to enter a required number of rungs of ladder logic. Then, you have to save the program by giving a proper file name. Then, after saving a program, we need to download it to the PLC. Before downloading, we have to configure the PLC2 software using RSLinx software. It is also a Rockwell software package. Then after configuring, we have to download the program to PLC. Then you have to monitor and test the programming in PLC. Next, we will see demo on how to create a new ladder program in RSLogix 500 and how to configure, and then how to download it to the program and how to test in a PLC. First, we will see how to create a new ladder program using RSLogix 500. For that, first you have to go to the desktop or PC. In there, we are installed a RSLogix 500 starter. That symbol is like this. By clicking on that symbol, it will open it by default like this. After opening this one, this is a default window of RSLogix 500 starter, and in that we have user, bit, timer, output. These are the instructions or symbols required to construct a ladder diagram. In bit, timer, input, compare, compute, math, etc. operations. We will see one by one. To create a program, first you have to go to File, New. In that, it will be listed different softwares available. Here we have only one, that is Micrologix 1000. So click on OK and OK. It will open. Here by default it will come with a end rung. For that, to construct, to add extra rung, you have to go to section user. In that we have new rung, branch, open contact, closed contact, coil, large coil, etc. And we have timer on, timer off, RTO, counter up, counter down, etc. First we will see how to construct. For that, go to user, insert a new rung, it will inserted, and then first you have to, now I will construct one simple program that is having a one contact and one output coil. If you switch on a circuit, the bulb should be on. To switch on, we need one input contact, that is normally open contact I will use. Click on that, click on here and click on here, it will automatically place on a angle. Then to require one more output coil, click on just here, it will place at the end. If you want more contacts in between, then just click like this and insert, it will be inserted. If you don't want that one, you have to right click, cut. First you have to place the components or symbols by selecting appropriate one. To place the timer, we have to go to time or counter panel. After placing symbols, you have to address them. I already told address format. The input address should be start from I colon 0.0 bar slash, you can put anyone in between 0 to 5. I will put first input, that is OK. If you enter, it will give you, here you can type whatever. I will type push button. This input is push button type, that's why I will type push button. The symbol is PB. OK. After this will complete addressing of input. Next we have to address the output. Click on double click on question mark. Then for output addressing, you have to type O colon 0.0, it's same. Then you have to give which output we are connecting in a PLC, either 0, 1, 2, 3. I am typing 1. Type. This output is connected to the electric bulb. OK. See, this will complete. After this, you have to verify if any syntax error is there or not. For that, you have to click on verify file or verify project. Click on, it will remove all E symbol. If any error is there, it will give the E symbol remains there in the side. Like this we have to complete. After completing this, we have to save this one. File, save, near required path like test, desktop, save. Yes, already it is file, it is asking for this. It is like this, we have to type. Once you have to, this will complete, how to write. Once completing the write, we have to download it. Before downloading, we have to configure the PLC. Next, I will show how to configure the PLC and how to download and how to test it in PLC. Now I will show you how to configure the PLC kit into the programming device, then how to download the program from programming device into the PLC kit, then how to test that program in PLC trainer kit. First, to show how to configure, first we will move on to the PLC trainer kit. The PLC trainer kit we are using here, it is a Allen Bradley Micrologix 1000 processor. It is having a 6 inputs and 4 outputs. Those are of type digital type, and these 6 inputs can be connected to a different types of input buttons. Here we are using 2 types of input buttons, that is push button and toggle buttons, and the outputs are connected to a indicators, and these are the ports we are provided at input and outputs to connect external device like motor, bulb or sensors, etc. First, to configure this one into the programming device, we are connect PLC trainer kit into the programming device through RS-232 cable. This one, both end is connected. One end is connected to the PLC trainer kit, and another end is connected to the device system programming device through serial port or USB. After connecting that one, you have to switch on the PLC. It will show power button in green color and run. Once after switch on the PLC, you have to configure in the programming device. For that, you have to open the RS Links software which is installed in our computer. Click on that one, RS Links, and here in the RS Links Lite default window open like this. Here you have to select configure driver under communication menu, or directly we can click on configure driver symbol, that is cable symbol. In that you have to select the driver type. In that, here we are using RS-232 DF1 device. Click on that, add new. Then it will list the default driver, that is AB underscore DF1-1. Click on OK. Here it will ask for which communication port the PLC kit is connected. Here different ports will be available. If you connect through serial port of the computer, by default it will connect it to the communication port 1, or if you connect to the any USB adapter, serial USB adapter, it will connect to different ports that can be checked in the device manager. Here we are connected to the serial port, that is connected to the port 1. Select the port 1 and remaining fields are unchanged, and then click on the auto configure. It will check the connections and all. During this process the PLC should be on. After checking, it will give the whether it is successful or failed. Here it is successful. If it is failed, we have to check the connection. And now the configuration successful. Click on OK. And here it will show the driver which is configured status. It is running status. Once it has coming running, click on close. Click on close. And now the driver is, we can check. Click on that, the driver is configured. Click on close. Close the RS Links. Then you have to download the program what we are designed. For that, you have to go to RS Logix 500 software. Here the program, simple program to test. Here we are connected one output and input. The input is connected to the open contact and the output is connected to the electric bulb. Here when we switch on the button, the electric bulb should be glow. For that, to test the program, you have to download this into the PLC kit. For that, we have to go to communication menu, that is this menu. Under this, you have to select download, or you can directly select here in offline. Here there will be a download. Click on that. It will ask. Click on OK. It will ask to go download the program. Click yes. Then it will ask to run mode. Yes. Then it will ask to go to run mode. Click on yes. Then it will ask to, do you want to go online? Yes. Now here the status is changes to remote run, from offline to remote run when it is download the program into the PLC. Once the downloading is complete, you have to check it in PLC. Here the input is connected to the first bit, the output is connected to the 0th bit. We'll test it. For that one, see here, the input is this button here connected. When you press this one, the output is glow. When we unpressed this one, when we release it, this one, the output will be off. See here. See. When we press, the output is on. When we release, the output is off. I will show this one by connecting to the external electric bulb. For that one, you have to, from output, which output we are configured, from that one, you have to connect to the external electric bulb and grounding to the electric bulb. We are giving a connection from PLC to the external output. Now I have connected. Now, when we press the input button, that is switch, the light should be on. When we unpressed that one, the light should be off. See here now. See, the bulb is switching on. When we release, the bulb will off. See. Like this, we can design any type of program and download into the PLC and we can test it. Thank you.